Okay, we're in the middle of nowhere in Clarksville, right by the airport in Clarksville, because we're right off Airport Road. And that's the building we're going to go into. So let's enter in and see how they make things. So one of the things you were telling us about was your bottom, the bottom of the cookware. That was a big thing for you.
Right. So there's two types of cookware that's manufactured when it comes to stainless steel, primarily. Two approaches. One is what's called an impacted or a slab bottom style of cookware, and that's where you'll see a thicker disc on the bottom than you would on the sidewalls. And then you would have what's called a unibody or a full core construction, where all the layers are continuous and uniform throughout the entire construction of the pan.
Really?
So the problem is that stainless steel, although it's a great, it's really easy to clean. It resists corrosion. It doesn't interact with food as much as some other products out there, say aluminum or certain non-sticks. The problem with stainless is that in general, it's not a great heat conductor or heat retainer. So it doesn't do great with heat. So what companies do is they add either aluminum or copper or something to the pan, because those are great components for heat retention, you know, to hold heat or whatever the goal is with the pan. Okay. Right. So what a lot of companies will do is they'll build a really thick aluminum bottom and then use a really thin stainless sidewall. Well, the problem is that stainless sidewall doesn't drive up heat, and on any cooking surface, any hob, your heat source is on the bottom. So you're going to get much higher temperatures on the bottom of the pan. It's not going to drive the heats up the side. So the concept of convection or multi-sided cooking or having, quality heat distribution in the entire unit of the pan is reduced significantly. To make a true uniformed or full core construction, we take 7 plies of metal and we stack them up and we press them together through compression. That's done in Pennsylvania. And then we cut those into discs, and then those discs right out here in the plant are formed into vessels. And so it's the same 7 layers all the way through. So that aluminum that's on the bottom is also up the sidewalls.
So that helps for boiling or in the stock pot.
Yeah, or braising or tempering. Or
oh my goodness!
Frying,
I didn't realize how
whatever it is.
So that's really important.
It's significant. It changes everything, but it's a lot more expensive to manufacture. So.
Here's their facility. Just want to show you what it looks like at a cookware warehouse. This is where they manufacture everything. So this is how it comes to you, like this?
Oh, no. We form all this. I'll show you how we make the pan.
Is he spiraling the bottom of the pan? Here, I'll let you slide in there and get some really good shots of this.
Oh, he's getting it. See how that's here?
Right. Oh, it's kind of flat looking.
If you'll stand right there, you'll actually watch it happen.
This is spiraling the bottom of the pan. This gives us design. Oh my goodness. That is a work of art. Look at that. That is unbelievable. And then you can see all these pans have already been done. And how many does he do in, let's say, a day?
Oh, he probably does 800 a day, I imagine.
Really? Is this his only job? He just stands here and spirals?
Well, he has multiple jobs. He's cross-trained.
Right.
But if we have someone doing spiraling bottom for the day, it's about 800 parts a day.
And what's he do over here?
Polishing covers.
Oh, he does the polishing of the covers. Oh, wow. Look at that.
We'll get you some fake goods. We'll have a vacuum that'll attach it to the chuck.
Right.
Does
he have a name?
No,
Who's Chuck?
the chuck's the part that pulls.
Oh, I was like, you have a name for the machine?
No.
I'm so sorry.
So,
Wow.
And so he's setting it up to do multiple runs here.
Okay. He's cutting the cloth. Can you use the cloth more than once?
Oh yeah, yeah. He'll use it for thousands.
Really?
And once we're done, and we'll cut the back piece of ball.
And then it just spins the cloth on it. And
Well, the cloth. So there's a chuck at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's made of kind of like a plastic or a nylon. And then we have vacuum tubes that come up through it.
Right.
That runs from a large compressor over there.
Right.
And when we put the part in, that vacuum pulls it down, and we put that nice cloth over it so it doesn't get any additional debris or.
Here it goes.
Like another set of. Yep, that's beautiful.
Wow. They got the procedures all down, huh?
They do.
And he does about 800 a day? Or?
I would imagine.
I didn't think I'd enjoy seeing that, but I did.
Deep draws, like a big pan. So we draw a 16-quart unit. It's really kind of deep.
So depending on what pan is how much pressure you need, right?
Right.
I see. That's why you got different volumes. And if this one's 350, and then that one's 300, and that one over there 275.
And that's a double action press right there. We're doing that one with all new computer electronics, so we can manage that machine from a computer anywhere in the world.
Really?
Yeah. So this is a water wash machine.
Right.
So this right here is we wash the pans in different stages.
Right.
Obviously, we're focusing on the pans with one roll through a different process of washing the machine. We got out of the other end of it, you'll see the water.
Wow. How long does that go? Hold on a minute. Where? Oh yeah, I see it. Oh, that's where it's heated water. Okay. And then let's look how long that is. That is very long. Unbelievable. Okay, this is the area where they do the riveting. Everybody handles a cookware with gloves, pulls it out of the plastic so it stays shiny and new. I absolutely love that. And he's going to rivet on a handle right now. Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Thanks for what you do. Appreciate it. Just a simple question. What's your number one selling cookware item?
Our number one is our 10.5-inch fry pan.
10.5-inch fry pan. Everybody uses it in America.
Yeah, they do.
You knew it. I thought it'd be that or the skillet.
Yeah, well, the four-quart saute, which you may call the skillet, is our number two.
Love it. Okay, so there's the computerized design right there. You have it on a computer screen, and this machine laser prints onto the cookware. And we're going to get to see that in a minute. And I am so excited. I'm foaming at the mouth. Oh my goodness.
Laser etching.
How long does each pan take?
It depends. For hammer saw, I think these are about 20-second stamps. So.
Laser did a beautiful job.
Look at that. That is gorgeous. Can it go anywhere, or does it have to be the same spot?
Oh yeah.
We can put it anywhere on the pan as long as it's on.
Oh, it's on.
Like you're not trying to go over a corner. It's got to be, on a fairly flat surface.
Okay, so we got two stacks here called bad ones. What does that mean by bad ones?
So So what we do is we really take a lot of pride in the way we manufacture our products. So if anything happens during the manufacturing process, or there's some sort of divot in a pan or a scratch in a pan that's not supposed to be, or if the metal separates in the manufacturing process, or whatever it is, then we move it into a second. And so we often use those for, sometimes gifting clients or whatever it is. They're all functional pans. They all would pretty much still work on the stove.
Hey, wait a minute. So the pans you sent me, they all got dings in them?
Yeah, probably
I
have
gotta
dings
look
in
for
it now.
That's great. I don't know if you guys remember the earlier footage of them washing the pans. This is where they start, right here. And then they go way down. This machine takes you way down to the other side of the warehouse. And it has a high temperature water, and it cleans it. And you probably don't want to drive your car through this thing.
System.
How long
Still
ago?
the short handles, or you're gonna have a long handle?
No, they have two side handles.
Okay, very
How
good.
long ago did those handles exist?
Well, we still actually use these handles for a different line of cookware.
I mean, on the lid, and your lid handles are different now, right?
Well, this is for a different line of cookware we still manufacture.
Really?
This is their 6.5-inch boning knife. Guys, if you could only feel solid tang, full tang all the way down. There's also a plate. It is a solid piece of steel, but they weld a plate. They weld a top layer on here.
Oh, okay.
It is solid here, but then they weld something on here, but it's the equivalent of a full tang.
And that's
The
a
handle
6-inch
is
fillet?
6.5-inch boning knife.
Really?
And it's got nice, if you could see here, nice flex. Oh, yes, the carve. Oh, I can do magic with this. There's also a plate. It is a solid piece of steel, but they weld a plate. They weld a top layer on here.
Oh, okay.
It is solid here, but then they weld something on here, but it's the equivalent of a full tang.
And that's
The
a
handle
6-inch
is
fillet?
6.5-inch boning knife.
Really?
And it's got nice, if you could see here, nice flex. Oh, yes, the carve. Oh, I can do magic with this. Oh yeah, wait till the stripers meet this.
That becomes a fillet. That becomes your fillet knife.
Yeah, a small fillet knife. Yeah, hopefully they've got larger fillet knives. I need 9-inch.
9-inch.
Yeah, to the brutes that we pull out of the lake.
Yeah.
These big 20, 30-pound stripers.
Right.
Yeah, the knives I have now, they do a good job.
Their handles are gorgeous.
Oh, I love this.